listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. Another week of wrestling to break down and a big weekend coming from AEW. They had Revolution live from Staples Center, or the crypto.com arena, as they call it today. But we're here to break that down, and especially some big moments on the road to WrestleMania, talking about Cody, Randy, and Obafemi absolutely destroying Brock Lesnar. We'll get to all that and more, but before we get into anything, I am one half of your hosting team, Micah, otherwise known as Mr. Scoop. On the other end of the call, the historian of the Scoop Slam podcast, but you can call him Mr. Slam. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, great to be back here with you. And you talking about Staples Center? I'm feeling like LeBron, and I think that makes you my Luka tonight.
Okay.
But yeah, we got a jam-packed show, and don't want to delay it any further. Let's just get into the graps. Let's get into it.
I saw somebody in one of my TikTok comments the other day.
Okay.
They were making fun of people like somebody said, "Oh, this would be real graps," and then somebody commented like "graps?" ? And then they replied back like, "Oh," and they tried to like break it down, and the dude just said, "Anybody that says that is a nerd." And it just made me laugh because he immediately shot it down.
Yeah, what a dweeb. Who uses graps, unironically?
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that in real life. Now, on Twitter or anything like that, Reddit, sure, but nobody says, "Oh, these graps are so good." Like,
I'm sure if we go to an AEW show, we'll see nothing but, or hear nothing but that phrase going around.
Well,
and smell a lot of body odor too.
With the WWE ticket prices, I think I'm more likely to go to AEW show now. But before we cast too many aspersions, we'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, AEW Revolution live from crypto.com arena, formerly Staples, the home of the Lakers and not the home of the nasty LA Clippers anymore. We sent them packing. But AEW Revolution had a house of 12,590, which was a sellout. It was their first show on international My AEW, and for us here, it was on the typical platforms. I did not watch the pre-show, Ryan, but I believe you did. So I don't know if you have any small notes about that you wanted to hit on, or if you just kind of want to recap it.
Yeah, hold up. Do you have the card in front of you?
I do.
Okay, just read out the results, and I'll tell you if I have anything for it. Go ahead. What was the first?
Okay, and we're going to mention the match times with these matches when we get to them as well. To start us off, we had Boom and Doom, Big Boom AJ, and QT Marshall with Aaron Solo, Big Justice, and the Rizzler defeating the Infantry, Captain Sean Dean and Carly Bravo, with Christian XO, Shane Taylor, and Trish Adora. This went 7 minutes and 40 seconds.
This was it was entertaining, Mike. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was, big bowl of nothing, but very sports entertainment. Like, it got a lot of traction online because there, it's a lot of clips that circulated. If the clip has the Rizzler in it, it's gonna do box office. And I think Wayne Brady got involved too. Those Wayne Brady fans out there, you were eating good on that pre-show because he kind of got physically involved as well. And rumors says that he's going to be maybe doing more appearances in the future. We'll see. But yeah, for a pre-show match, it's what you expect. And Big Boom AJ, the king of pre-shows, came in clutch again. And yeah, man, Doom and Boom win again. Tag team titles in the future, Micah? ?
I'm here for it. It'll do it. If they had a main event on Dynamite with FTR, it would do numbers. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not saying that they would be just like a great match, but like people would pay attention to it.
They just bloody up Big Justice. They just pile drive the Rizzler.
They hit a Rizzler with a shatter machine.
You cannot tell me that wouldn't do big numbers on social media.
It would. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a crazy thing to think. I know people be like, "Oh, it would diminish the title," but like, if FTR beats him in 5 minutes,
And
it's all fun.
it's not like they're above hitting children over there. I mean, MJF threw some tequila on a kid one time, and hell, the Rizzler got pushed in that last match. So you telling
Yeah.
me the Rizzler couldn't take a pile driver?
Hey, Big Justice wasn't letting that slide either. He came in with that spear.
Big Justice bigger than both FTR.
Bald and beard.
There you
Following
go.
that, we had for the AEW TBS Championship, Willow Nightingale defeated Lena Cross in 11 minutes.
They didn't mesh well at all. This was not my cup of tea. This was the first time I really got, sat down and watched the Lena Cross match because she has a very striking look. She's like 6'2", 6'3". She's tall. And just Willow and her just did not mesh well, in my opinion. And Willow retained, and I think we got some after match shenanigans that set up the tag match later on. But yeah, this was a little bit of a clash of styles here, Mike.
Yeah. And then lastly, on the pre-show, which bled into the main event, or I guess the main card, Jack Perry won the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royale for the AEW National Championship by last eliminating the incumbent champion, Ricochet.
Isn't Jack Perry one of the original pillars? Was he the pillar?
Yes, he was one of.
And he is on the pre-show coming out to. He rode on a short school bus to get into the arena, Micah. And I'm not joking. That's how he entered the arena. I guess Luchasaurus is hurt again. He was in an arm sling and he was driving a short school bus. Yeah, he's hurt again. I don't know how it happened, but he's hurt. And Luchasaurus drove Jack Perry because he was the only one. Well, one of the only ones that actually got an entrance. And they probably had an idea in their head, something that looked cool, but really in practice it looked kind of goofy. Jack Perry entered the Staples Center in a short school bus, which it probably makes a lot of sense actually. Now that I'm breaking it down,
I was gonna say the jokes write themselves. I don't even know that we have to flesh them out.
I was very confused what this match was, Michael. There were so many people going through the bottom rope, through the second rope. Most of the competitors started out outside, and I was thinking that this was one of those reverse battle royals that TNA used to do.
Mhm.
But
that would have been better.
I don't know, but this is a very weird battle royal this was, and it went on for a very long time, and it bled into the main show. And remember when Ricochet was the next big game changer? I remember
that. He's changing some people's feelings online, maybe, but we don't have to get too much into that. Yeah, I honestly hate battle royales, and this isn't exclusively an AEW thing because WWE does it to some extent, but I won't say as much because, like, I remember the casino battle royale that they had it All In last year, or maybe the year before, and everybody goes on the outside, so like the two people can be in the ring doing their spot, and that just always bothers me because that defeats the purpose. It's the same way. Like somebody always runs in the elimination chamber, or somebody always rips the door off the War Games. Like, come on.
There should be a time limit for you to be outside, or like maybe a times you can go outside. Like you go outside 2 times, or out of the match if you don't go over the top rope. That would eliminate some of this. But yeah, AEW does a lot of battle royals. So many battle royals. So you notice it more in AEW.
Yeah. Somebody also said Jack Perry was Tony Khan's Austin Theory. I think that's a.
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean,
one is talented and one is Jack Perry. Come on now. I'd say Sammy Guevara. Let's put Sammy Guevara in that category. I don't know about that.
Well, we can get more on Austin Theory for another time, but I may be waning on my.
Oh no, you're off the bus.
Yeah,
you're off the short bus. Huh?
I think he might just be potential, man.
I don't know about that.
If he got a bigger push.
Let's see what they're cooking up. I give up on them just yet.
Well, that brings us to the first match on the main card, a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. FTR, Cash and Dax with Stokely, defeated the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, in 18 minutes and 50 seconds. Uh, you know, we are pretty critical here on the pod of the Young Bucks typically. I was not expecting a whole lot from this match. I've liked FTR in the past. They've kind of waned on me a little bit. So, but it was the opener. So I was like, okay, I'm sat down. I'm ready to watch this. Let's see what they got. And I have a few talking points, Ryan, but I'll start with one. Initially, they did that pile driver. I believe it was on the apron. And Matt Jackson sold that for a surprisingly longer amount of time than I thought he was going to, because that's typically our gripe with the Bucks, is that they don't sell a whole lot. And I thought that they actually took a little bit more time in this match to let the match develop and let the moves have impact. And early on, it was an absolute bloodbath as well.
I don't know about that, man. Wasn't this the match that they kicked out at 1?
Well, yeah, we'll get to that a
Yeah,
little
one
later.
kicked out at 1. And that's not the first time that's going to happen on this pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
We're going to kick
no.
out at 1 a couple more times in this endeavor, this marathon of a show. Yeah, I thought the first half of the match was fine, Micah, but then the second half just turned the Young Bucks, finisher kick-out fest. Now with blood.
Well, I do agree with you towards the back half. I think one of the things I wrote here was, and this was again halfway through the match, I felt like they had done an excellent job of not being in the ring forever with their dual spots that they typically do, the typical Bucks match. I thought they were doing a good job of telling a more traditional story with a traditional tag team match. Towards the end, I wrote they did start dragging that phrase out a little bit, but I felt like they mostly covered it up. Like they would do a team move, but like the other one would go out to the apron and then do something and come back in. So I don't know. It didn't bother me as much. Obviously, you mentioned the kick out at 1 and then a power up, which
The power
in,
up.
in a vacuum, right? I'm fine with this. It is a
Mhm.
big match. It's for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. I think this was one of the bigger matches on the card. And I'm even fine with this being in the opener. But my problem is this was not the only one of the night, and we'll get to the rest of them. But initially, seeing that, it didn't like piss me off or be like, wow, really? Like it made
I
sense. It's also
think you've
their
been
5th time facing each other.
I think you've been playing too much 2K26. You use your comeback right after a big move, and that probably doesn't bother you, but I don't know, man. Unless you're Hulk Hogan, you can't be powering up like that at 1.
Well,
Just summoning the power of friendship. Did his son inspire him at ringside? What
yeah,
was
there
that?
you go.
Oh, okay, all right. Just go with that. All right.
He remembered the moment. They were close to home, and
He did. Their son got involved. Young Bucks. I think they actually came out during their entrance with their kids, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think
But
they had some vignette too where their sons were like, or their kids. I don't want to say specifically just sons. I don't remember, but I think
yeah, it could have been daughter. I don't
they came
know.
out and or they had a vignette that was like the kids were cheering them on or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, trying to get us to baby face the Young Bucks, but one of the children, kids. Now you got me wondering, was that his daughter that fired him up at ringside? I don't know, Micah, but one of the Bucks' kids. I don't remember which Buck it was. I think it was Matt. Was it Matt Buck or Nick Buck? I don't know, Mike. One of the Young Bucks' kid fired up the other Young Buck and got him to being so inspired that he kicks out at 1 with FTR. Is that what you're telling me, Micah?
Yeah, I think he realized the weight of the moment. These guys have fought each other 5 times. They are
Had no story throughout this 5 times.
well, I don't know. I will say this: I have largely been critical of the Bucks, but I honestly think this is their best match I've seen in AEW. I think it was
Oh,
the least like just typical Young Bucks match where like they're just doing the combo spots and they make the referee look like a fool. And there was some stuff I liked in here, like they had a suplex to the floor during this. I think that was,
yeah,
or
they
maybe it
almost
was,
killed. They almost killed bald FTR.
yeah, it was a nasty spot though. They had a good false finish to me with Dax. He got a huge kick out, and then they didn't go 5 more minutes and let the crowd die. They immediately went to the finish with the Shatter Machine, which I liked because the crowd was into this the whole match, and that's a trend that we'll talk about also throughout the night, which was the crowd. But for this match, they were up. And I think that also covers a lot of it. Like the kick out at 1, for instance, the crowd popped huge. So like I feel like I have to give them maybe somewhat of a pass or points for that because the fans they were into it.
It was the first match too, so they weren't as burned out. But yeah, they did a suicide dive spot onto Stokely, which I don't know why he's still around, but you remember seeing that?
I forgot about that because that ended up leading to the finish, right? Because I think it was
Yep.
Nick that dove out to Stokely, and then when he came back in, he got caught in that shatter machine.
Yeah, crowd came alive for that. They loved that.
Yeah. I thought it was a good finish. Like honestly, again, we're largely critical of the Bucks, but for this, I'm not going to say there was nothing that I had an issue with, but for the most part, I enjoyed this match, and like this is one that this got me in a good mood to watch the rest of the pay per view, and then also I watched this live, so that always helps. Because I feel like when I watch it back, I'm like, oh my god, because this pay per view went 4.5 hours, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But at the end, Ryan, your guy, Mr. Cope and Mr. Cage,
Oh no.
return, call out FTR, kind of sort of called out the Bucks as well. What did you think about the return, and are you looking forward to one last run with Team Edge and Christian?
Bro, I was just very confused as to why this took so long. Like I don't know if you were like watching as closely as I was, but the Titantron or the big screen they got at the top of Crypto Arena, they had like the little movie that plays during wrestlers entrances, and it just said like revenge on the Titantron, and I was thinking, bro, they pile drove your wife 8 months ago, and you're just now getting revenge. It probably wasn't that big of a deal.
God, I
It
didn't
took
think
you
it had been
eight
eight
months
months ago.
or they were last there in September. And then Adam, oh, not Adam, Cope said the Christian that he needs time away, or I don't know what he needed to be with his wife. So
And then Christian
took him,
just got sent
yeah,
just sent home too for no reason.
yeah, Christian just went home too. Uh, but yeah, it took them 8 months, and I know what they're doing here. They're setting up the match at Dynasty, which is in Toronto. I think that's the next pay per view they got in April, a week before WrestleMania, I believe. But is FTR versus Cope and Christian in Toronto. They want to get the big the tag title celebration in Toronto. I'm sure they'll make a ladder match or something to play off the history there. But bro, if you needed to space this out all the way until Toronto to get the climax of this story, why even do this? Why even do that turn if it was going to take you a year to pay this story off?
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
don't
this is
know why he had to leave for 8 months, but the reasoning, like you said, does not make sense.
yeah. And now Cope is in his last year of his contract, and it's looking like we're just gonna get a little tag run to end his career off, and maybe one last match. This seems like a waste of a guy like Cope. I know we're not the biggest fan of him on the podcast, but you got a living legend on your roster that's gonna do shots for you, and he was gone for a year with an injury, and then he was on the shelf for 8 more months to build up a storyline with FTR. So he basically lost 2 years doing nothing.
And he's really not gonna. I don't think he's going to put many people over on the way out.
Well, of course not. That's not a
So
problem to them. They don't have a problem with that. But I feel like you could have got way more. You could have got some big matches out of Cope, and it just feels like 2 years of his contract was just wasted in AEW.
yeah, and I feel like this is truly the way they're going out. So welcome back, Cope and Cage, but we'll see what they do with them. And as we've mentioned multiple times, the returns are a theme
Night of
here.
Returns. Yeah. Night of Returns and blood. And kickouts at one.
Following that, in a match that I don't really have a whole lot of notes for, easy for me to say, but there is obviously a lot to talk about in the end of this. Timeless Tony Storm defeated Marina Shafir in a singles match where everyone was banned from ringside, which I think is a very stupid stipulation because you are basically telling that everyone else is not banned from ringside before now. But this went 9 minutes and 50 seconds. As far as the match goes, Ryan, do you have anything, or do you just want to talk about the baddest woman on the planet debuting for AEW?
Yeah, bro, I got a problem with Tony Storm in these big matches. Does it just seem like they do these finishes? Because let me roll out the finish for you, Micah. So Tony Storm is in the submission move that Marina Shafir has been getting over on TV. It's called the Mother's Milk. Mother's Milk, yeah. Where she buries her opponent's head in her chesticle area, solar plexus, as you would say. And I guess gives him like a backwards choke. Or what would you call that in MMA terms, Micah?
Yeah.
I know there's a word for it. I don't know. Not up to date on my MMA, but so she puts Tony Storm in this maneuver, and Tony Storm proceeds to bite Marina Shafir's areola, I guess. I don't know, Micah, but she bites her, and then Tony Storm rolls her up in the big package, and then that's the finish. You build up your big monster heel for her crowning moment, her biggest match that she's ever had, Marina Shafir, and that's how you treat her. And they do this quite frequently with Tony Storm, bro. Remember when she, buried her face into Mercedes Moné? You remember that?
I do remember
Do
that.
they just do these spots for the Gooners to clip this for them on social media? It just seems like that's all that Tony Storm is now.
I agree with you. I think some subsections of the internet would tell you that it is forward thinking, and you are.
How is that? Doesn't it do a disservice to women's wrestling when you post that clip? Because that did get clipped along with all of Tony Storm's other shenanigans. That kind of stuff gets clipped, and you look at the comment section, Micah, and it's nothing but the Dolph Ziggler gif of "it should have been me." It's just nothing but that in the comment section. How is that doing a service to women's wrestling?
Yeah, it makes me think of the. Do you remember the Becky Lynch tweet or whatever about Rhea? Because that clip of Rhea, I think what was she doing? Something at a house show. I want to say maybe
she
she was
gave
giving
Nia Jax the stink face.
Yeah, and then Becky made some type of comment about how like this was hurting women's wrestling, or like she would not want her daughter to be front row. That's
Yeah.
the same type stuff that gives me, because when you and again, this is just me, my thought process. When you make women's wrestling overly sexual like that, it's all like women's wrestling is already overly sexualized by basement dwellers and guys who get no play in real life. And so, like, whenever you do this, it just furthers the opinion. It furthers the comments, like you said, that it should have been me or whatever, because people already make the thirst trap edits of
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, and who literally every female wrestler ever has edits or people making nasty, disgusting comments to them, because these people don't have real lives. Like, they are disgusting individuals. So when you do this, you are just playing into their hand. Whereas if you put Tony and Marina out there and let them have an actual match, then that furthers women's wrestling. Trish and Lita furthered women's wrestling by giving you good matches. Rhea furthers women's wrestling by being a great wrestler. But this right here, this overly sexual gimmick, what do you call it? Female Joel Gertner?
Yeah.
It's just
That's what it is.
ridiculous. And I'm really sick of it. Like, Hannah, or my wife, was in the room with me while I was watching this, and she had the same thought process as me. She said, "Did they really just call that the mother's milk?" And I was like, "Yep." And she said, "Why? Like, who is that for?" I was like, "Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
gotta,
It's for the
I gotta
sickos.
say the quiet part out loud."
For the sickos.
But yeah, needless to say, I'm not fans of the gimmick, and this is also a feud that has been going on since, I believe, like September of last year. They've been having this match, and then they ran it back, or they were going to run it back this week on Dynamite. They announced that later in the pay-per-view. I believe Tony got injured before, due to Ronda Rousey, but I'm not 100%
Yeah.
sure about
There
that.
was a Marina Shafir Mina Shirakawa match on Dynamite tonight, and Mina almost died on a table spot. If you haven't seen that, go seek that out. It's crazy. Her head bounces off the floor because Marina Shafir is not a good wrestler, and Mina Shirakawa, she's not that far ahead of Marina. And they did a table spot. Both ladies didn't know what they were doing, and she got dropped on her head. But that's not the story here, Micah. The story of this match is the aftermath. And Tony Storm is on the top of the stage doing, I don't know if she's swimming. She's doing like, what would you call that, Micah?
Jester maxing.
Okay, gesture maxing. And she did the Undertaker sit up. Well, hold up. Let me back it up a little bit. So the camera pans to the ring after Tony's doing whatever she's doing on the stage, and it pans to this lady that just hopped in the ring, and the crowd doesn't know what to make of it. But then it finally dawns on everybody that that's Ronda Rousey, and so Ronda Rousey decides to point at the stage while Tony Storm is still, doing backstrokes on the stage, and Tony Storm somehow sees Ronda Rousey point at her and does a whole Undertaker sit up and proceeds to give the camera a cheeky smile. And then she power, power walks to the ring like Santino, and they have a stare down, Tony Storm and Ronda Rousey. And then Marina Shafir gets involved, beat down ensues, and yeah, Ronda Rousey, Micah. What were your initial thoughts when you seen Ronda Rousey officially show up in AEW?
First off, there's so many things to unpack here. She has been universally hated by this crowd, and I will say that there has been some of the fan base that has called this out and said, "I don't want Ronda Rousey in my wrestling," which those people would be correct, because she's not good. Like, I'm sorry to burst people's bubble, but we saw it. She was in WWE for that second run. I can't speak on the first run. You saw that. I saw the second run. she stunk. Her promos stink. Her wrestling stinks. I think she also thinks that she should never lose. And so,
she
yeah,
she was upset for having to work with Alexa Bliss and said that it was BS because Alexa Bliss sold the most merchandise doesn't mean that she was the biggest star, which is flat out not true at all. Usually, if you're the biggest merch seller, you're probably the most push person, and you're probably the biggest star. But yeah, she said a lot of crazy stuff when she was officially done with WWE, and she's been saying a lot of bad stuff about TKO lately too.
yeah. So for that regard, she'll fit in over here, but I'm not gonna really harp on the political side of things, but I will just say that typically this side of the wrestling community is very politically correct. Ask Ricochet, and I don't see how Ronda Rousey fits into that narrative. Now we'll get into somebody else who was on the
Well,
show a little
let me,
later that's even worse, but
well, pause, Micah. Can I read you the Sean Ross Sapp tweet that he had? Because this was crazy to me because literally the worst person made a good point. But Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out, completely separate of wrestling, Ronda Rousey said some horrible stuff about Sandy Hook and took 11 years to apologize. Trey Miguel apologized for his insensitive homophobic comments almost immediately. Why couldn't he be in the company again? Someone at WBD should be answering to that. And so far, they haven't when I've asked. That was from Sean Ross Sapp.
interesting how that works, huh?
Yeah. Some unknown WBD associate. Huh?
Yeah. We're definitely buying that. We're buying that
Yeah,
one.
sure.
But I mean, I know it's because Ronda's a star, and yes, she's gonna get eyeballs on the product. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just think from the company that parades themselves as we're the best wrestle and making kind of a safe haven for the correct way to do pro wrestling and things like that. Ronda Rousey does not fit that description. I don't think maybe in the numbers she will have a positive effect, but in terms of like a watchable product
Well,
and maybe pissing off your like diehard fan base, I don't think this is a good signing.
well, Ronda Rousey has that. Is it an MMA match or is it a boxing match with who's she fighting again?
Gina
Gina.
Carano,
Yeah, is that MMA or is that boxing?
I want to say it's MMA because they both
Okay,
used to be in UFC.
I know they were, but I didn't know because I think it's Jake Paul that's putting on the event. He's the promoter.
Yeah,
Uh,
most valuable promotions, and it is a MMA card.
okay. Supposedly Nate Diaz is gonna be on that card.
Hmm. Oh yeah, Diaz versus Mike Perry. Oh my
Yeah.
God, two brain cells.
But it's gonna be a big fight because it's on Netflix and gonna have all the backing of the juggernaut that Netflix is. But yeah, it's a lot of people saying that it's maybe to promote that fight, but I don't know if I buy that or not, Micah, because is WBD gonna want to promote a Netflix special? They didn't even promote Happy Gilmore when MJF was in,
Yeah, a
and that
Netflix
was
special hosted by the brother of current WWE
yeah,
superstar.
yeah, exactly. So I don't see why they would promote that because they didn't do it for that. So why would they do it for this? Uh it's very interesting, Micah. Do you see a one-off match, or do you think this is just going to be maybe a full-time gig after she's done with that fight?
I could see her popping in and out. I don't think she'll be like a weekly wrestler, but maybe just to sell a few tickets on you know,
Is
a
is that
pay-per-view.
is that fan base going to reject it?
They booed the crap out of her at Staples, but then again, like I
She's supposed to
can't
be the heel.
understand. Well, yeah, one, she's supposed to be the heel. Two, do these wrestling companies not have like cognitive thought about where they bring these people out at? Like, it makes me think of when they brought out Hogan, his last WWE appearance in LA.
Well,
Like,
hold up now. Ronda does live in LA though, so
she
I guess
does?
it may. Yes, I'm pretty sure she does. I think she
I
lives
thought
out there.
I thought she lived out on some like ranch or something.
She's from that area. She's from LA. I don't know.
I don't know. I just
I don't know.
considering past comments, I don't know. Also, the term "baddest woman on the planet" does not apply anymore because
Oh
she got
man.
beat. Sorry, I've never really been a big Ronda guy. I used to be, but then she was such a sore loser when she lost.
She was, yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
she
don't
was.
really care for her. Like, she don't move the needle for me. But
My dad's the biggest Ronda Rousey hater on the face of the planet, so
it
sure
just
I'm
comes
sure he'll
natural
be
for you.
I'm sure I'm sure he'll be wanting Gina to knock her out in MMA. Uh yeah,
Well,
man, it'll make money. It'll draw
yeah.
eyeballs, but a lot of the dub performative leftists are not going to be happy about it, and you know, I don't know, man. People that say the WWE are full of people with politics that don't align with mine, so I ain't watching that. Then they can justify having Rousey on the show and having pedo protectors like Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page on the show. I don't know, man. It's interesting, very interesting. But we'll see where
Rest,
it goes.
yeah. Wrestling is full of carnies, and it's really hard to have a moral compass because every time you think somebody is good, most of the time they have skeletons in their closet. But
Oh man, the meltdown. The meltdown. If Ronda Rousey has a meltdown, it's probably gonna make CM Punk's meltdown look like child play.
yeah, and she's known to have them too.
Yeah, especially on social media.
Yeah. So following that, we had the no time limit match for the AEW Continental Championship. This went 23 minutes and 25 seconds. John Moxley defeated Konosuke Takeshita by technical submission.
Oh
Um,
god.
I saw some people online say that this was their match of the year or a match of the year
What?
candidate. I felt like this never got out of first gear. Uh, there was a couple things I liked. There was a really probably one of the closest near falls I've ever seen. When Takeshita hit Moxley with a raging fire. I honestly thought that was it. He managed to kick out, which he was the first one in AEW to do so.
Well, of
That
course.
got me. I bid on it. Oh yeah, Moxley. But ultimately, you know, they had the second kick out at one, which we talked about was a common theme here. We're 3 matches in. We've had 2 kickouts at one. We've had 2 matches with blood. And then your main event, by the way, is a last chance Texas death match where they're gonna bleed. So why are we spamming this early? Why are we not talking to the other people about what they're doing in their match? Or why are we not getting mad or pushing back on people doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing in their match? That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But after a babyface turn objectively, for the whole match, I thought it was slow and it didn't get out of first gear. But after Takeshita turned babyface, I feel like he should have been the one to win
What?
here. And yet
Wait a
again,
minute.
they never.
Hold up now. Both guys are babyface, right?
Well, I think Moxley
They're
is some
two
kind of
baby faces.
tweener.
They're two baby faces in heel stables.
Makes
Who are we
sense.
supposed to cheer here?
Well, do you hate Don Callis more or do you hate Takeshita more? Or, sorry, do you hate John Moxley more?
Uh, I'm probably indifferent to all these parties involved. But I see what you're saying. Bro, just you remember when Moxley was about to get turned on by the Death Riders and the whole Death Rider storyline was finally gonna pay off with the Death Riders finally jumping John Moxley, and he was gonna go do his own thing as a babyface. What happened to that? We still telling that story?
I guess. I was gonna bring this up with the Tony Storm Arena thing. One of my biggest issues with AEW at large is the feuds never have a finite, like this is it. This is the end. Because literally, like, you had the Tony Storm Arena match, and then later in the show they're like, oh yeah, we're having Tony Storm and Marina again. It's like, why was it even on the pay-per-view at that point?
Bro,
I just
if you want to dig deeper, what Darby Allin's still technically feuding with the Death Riders
yes,
because he's
and it
feuding with
bothers
the
me.
War Dogs, and the little bald jabroni from the War Dogs is a OG member of the Death Riders.
So, and how long has that been going on? Like, since before All In last year, which was, I think, sometime in
Oh
the
my god.
summer.
We'll
So
probably
almost
talk
a
about it.
full year.
We'll probably talk about it next week, but please do not skip that Darby Allin segment that he had with Gabe Kidd. Please do not skip that on Dynamite on Wednesday.
I'll check it out. I didn't catch Dynamite tonight, but
You'll see it.
I mean, it just, I don't know, it bothers me because it feels like they never invest into Takeshita. And there was somewhat of a story like baked in here with the time limit draw, and then what happened to the Continental Classic, and then
Bro,
you have a moment.
He'll never get to that level.
But why?
He's always been on the cusp of it, Micah. But they are not. That's just not in the plans. They don't see him at that level. They see him as having a good match, but they can't build a storyline around him. I mean, there's only so much you can do if you're just walking around. What does he really do? He doesn't say anything. He just goes around staring. He aura farms. He stares at Okada a lot. But at some point, Micah, you got to talk to people into the building.
But he has a manager. Like, I'm not saying Don Callis is like this.
Is he a manager?
Master linguist, but he can somewhat tell a story.
Are we sure? He can paint. We know he can paint. But can he tell a story? I don't know.
There's got to be
Jackal.
There's got to be somebody out there.
He just turned back into that persona, the Jackal. He could probably get some people over as a Jackal.
What is the Jackal?
You don't remember when Don Callis was the Jackal in Attitude Era?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Takeshita for some reason.
I mean, he could dress up like him too.
I was like, what? Is this a DDT persona that I don't know about? But yeah, I mean, the match was just here to me, man. I don't see what everybody saw with it.
Yeah, I was worried that it was going to go on for 60 minutes when I said no time limit.
Well, with Moxley, you never know what you're going to get.
We got up out of here.
So yeah, I don't know. So far, we're 3 matches in. We're an hour into the show, and I think we've had one match that I thought was really good, and the rest were just kind of there.
We had another comeback though after this match.
We did. Mr. Willie Boy Will Ospreay, Mr. Bruv, returns. Basically reignites his feud with the Death Riders because those feuds never end. Which it makes sense because they, initially are kind of the ones that, I don't want to say hurt him because everybody knew he was going to have surgery. But it was, they beat him up after the match because remember the baby faces couldn't climb the cage.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, they redid the Luchasaurus vignette when he came back, and Will Ospreay was in the hospital, and he got medical attention from his bruv, Micah, yeah, came out there, fired up, did a lot of flips.
Well,
and
Brian, let me ask
him.
you.
Oh, well, yeah, go ahead.
Who exactly was Mr. Ospreay's bruv here? Because I haven't seen a whole lot about this, but
I,
I think it bears attention.
there, there was a lot of there was some chatter online, Micah, at the time when the vignette happened, and a lot of people making jokes saying that it was, they have a certain famous bald guy here, certain famous bald guy there. But my keen eyes, Micah, recognized that it was one Paul Robinson. And if you don't know who Paul Robinson is, people, ladies and gents, he was one of those guys that got outed as a pedo in the wrestling business, which seems to be a reoccurring thing nowadays. A lot of AEW superstars are hanging out with those types. I'm not making allegations. That's just what I see, Mike. But yeah, I just thought it was maybe in poor taste to have that guy front and center on the pay per view. These allegations, these are known. They're out there. And you have a known pedo on your pay per view, Micah? You getting them a payday? No complaints online about this, by the way. I don't see anybody talking about this.
Oh no. You literally cannot find anything about it unless it is some man that draws like insane, like I guess resemblance to Paul
No, that's
Robinson.
him. That is him. Look at his nose shape. That's him. Please, everybody, just go back there and watch that segment where Will comes back. And you'll see, because they have a close up on the doctor that is, I don't know what is he doing to Will? He's injecting him with something. I don't know. But he's doing experiments on Will, and they do a close up on the doctor's face, and that's him. That is him.
And this is like fresh a week maybe from off of the whole thing with Osprey anyways, talking about how he was so grateful for him or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's
Not
just
even, not even a month and a half away from that whole Hangman and the villain Marty Skrull famous Cracker Barrel incident. And
yeah.
you got MJF saying in interviews that, well, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, pedophilia is not okay. And then you got MJF, you should have been talking to your main event locker room over there. You should have been talking to them. Because they seem to like to buddy up to those guys.
Yeah. And
But
again, like I'm not saying this to excuse it, but like they call out WWE when they do it, and rightfully so, because that's disgusting. But why are we so quiet about this? I literally had not heard, had not seen anything about it until you brought it to my attention. I feel like we're the only ones that have said anything about it.
yeah.
And that's insane that people just want to sweep something like that up under the rug, especially in the climate and world we live in today, man. That stuff is so out front for everybody to, I mean, to realize that everyone does it, evidently, and we're just going to make that okay.
Well, we're fedified, Micah. We're fed peeled. So
Yeah.
yeah, what do we know? We're a fed podcast.
I don't care what wrestling promotion you work for, what side of the government you're on, or whoever else you are. Pedophilia is wrong and disgusting, and there is literally no excuse for it,
Well,
like MJF said.
no, you don't understand, Micah. People are complicated. Friendships are complicated. And we don't know what their relationship is like.
I've had a
And what if
lot
it was
of friends, and
your best friend? I'm like, well, first of all, I wouldn't be friends with those guys.
exactly. I had a friend that did some dastardly things to a lady one time, and I immediately
Yeah.
stopped talking to him, cut him from the group chat. Like, man, I'm not associating with you anymore. You're not a good person.
But
So,
let it be Cena or somebody talking about Vince in an interview. Oh, what a bootlicker! He's supporting a known sexual assaulter. let that happen. But with this, I kind of like
Radio
how he does
silence.
his. I like how he does his Spanish fly, Mike. So I'll let it go. He can be friends with whoever he wants, as long as he can hit that little flip that I like, that
And
moonsault.
and that right there is my issue with wrestling fans at large because they don't call it down the middle. They got to be one or the other, and that's not what we do here. Scoop Slam Podcast, we call a spade, but we don't
Say,
support nasty
no,
people like that. I mean, I don't know why this is even a debate or a talk that we have to have, but evidently, man.
but
And it's
anyway, welcome back, Willie Boy, and welcome to AEW, Paul Robinson, I guess.
yeah. Enjoy your 15-minute match with Blake Christian.
Oh,
What
Vanilla
a
Baby.
showcase that'll be.
There you go.
But following that, after that tirade, for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships in a tag team match, the Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne, and Lena Cross defeated the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron, and Willow Nightingale by pinfall. On the front of it, I like this pairing better for Megan. These two feel like a Towers of Terror type tag team to me. Towers of Terror type tag team. Say that 3 times fast. Just an impossible task for most ladies to deal with, 2 ladies of this size. But as far as the match goes, I mean, it was quick. It was 5 minutes. I felt like it kind of had a bit of a flat finish. This to me is when the fans started to check out a little bit. I won't say that they didn't get up for anything else. But yeah, this one, another match that really just didn't get out of first gear. However, I will support a shorter match on a 4.5 hour long pay-per-view. They should have done that with more of them. But it's just always funny to me. The short matches are the women's matches.
Yeah, and yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
I don't think Harley was ready for this spotlight. I'll just say that.
I would like to point out, well, oh yeah, that's the most improved wrestler of the year, though, Ryan. I don't think the
We didn't
match
give that
was
to her.
bad.
We didn't give that to her, did we?
No. I don't
Oh,
remember
okay.
who
All
we
right.
gave it
I was
to.
worried about my past self.
No, I think that's.
I think that was the Observer. They gave her that.
Yeah,
Gave that to her.
I think so. But yeah, I would just like to point out a quick point here, ladies and gentlemen. All of the male matches on this card went over 10 minutes. We had 3 women's matches on this card, 2 of them under 10, and the only one that got over 10 was Tekla versus Chris Statlander, which got 17. And there was only 2 men's matches that were under that on the whole card. So just
What are you trying to say here, Mike?
just a nugget of information. Do with that
Mm.
as such you please. But following that, we've got the what did you
Wait, who
call
won?
them?
Who won?
Oh, the Divine Dominion, new tag team
There you
champions. The only title change.
go. Man, was it?
It
That's
was the
crazy.
only title change.
Okay. Well, no, Jungle Jack beat Ricochet.
Oh well, I meant on the main card.
Well, no, that during the show.
Well, yeah, I guess you got me there as well. I'm
Okay,
just
go
wrong
ahead.
on
Go
all
ahead.
fronts. I think last week you called him the most dangerous cornball, Swerve Strickland, versus the most dangerous wrecking ball, Brody King. This went 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Swerve Strickland picked up the win. I'll let you start this one off. Did you have any little notes about this?
Bro, I just don't understand. You had something with Brody King, and the people that's saying that it made Brody King a made man after this match with Swerve. How does this make Brody King a made man when he constantly loses to main event guys? This is the time. That was the time. Well, one of the times you could have solidified him in that upper card, that main event scene, and you couldn't do it. You gave it to the most dangerous cornball. and it was just a vessel to set up a Kenny Omega return. So, just shuffle him back down to the basement, and we'll probably see Brody King on ROH or maybe back in a tag team soon. I just this is it for him. That's it. There'll
Yeah.
never be another opportunity to make him into a made guy like it was over the last couple months. It's never going to be that.
Because he's become almost like the gatekeeper, but whenever he does get up there, he can't win the big one. He
Yeah,
lost to MJF, he lost to Swerve. Like, there's no reason to buy into him, buy into his stock
yeah.
long
Just gets
term.
beat. Just gets beat. If there was ever a time to beat an established guy, and it wouldn't have hurt Swerve to lose to Brody King here. Why couldn't Kenny Omega run out before and cost Swerve the match? Couldn't we have done that?
Yeah. And then Swerve has a gripe of why,
Yeah,
why he can segue off of Brody King to Kenny.
exactly. Gives him an out.
Brody gets a win.
Yeah, and by the way, a lot of these returns could have been saved Dynamite or Collision, because man, at a certain point, how much is too much for returns? Do we need four? Do we need four returns tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, three returns and one debut. We are 5 matches into the card. So
Yeah,
every men's match, every men's match had a return, and one of the ladies' matches had the Ronda debut. But 4 out of the 5 having an aftermath is just insane. This could have been laid out so much better. But what do I know?
and
Uh
I believe Brody took that vertebraker onto the floor, and then he took a stomp from Swerve, and he kicked out at 1. That was
yep.
one of the things that bothered me a lot because when you get hit with a cop killer, as shout out LAX and the mid 2000s TNA as they coined it, but the vertebraker on the concrete floor, that should have been a match ender, but then you go for another 5 minutes after that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this is
that's what
the third time we've seen the kick out at 1 in this on this pay-per-view.
That's what bothered me about it was not only was it the third time, but right after that, right after the kick out at 1, Swerve just hits him with 3 house calls and it's over. It did nothing. Like, I guess in their mind it made Brody look like a unit because it took 3 house calls, but like I don't think he gained anything from that compared to taking the vertebreaker and then Swerve's finish. I feel like that was good enough. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it made it a flat finish for the crowd. Because
Yeah.
crowd's all up and then just ends.
And then again, we're getting late here. Like, the people have been here for 4 or 5 hours watching wrestling. So you take it when you get it. You take the finish when it's time. And so to extend it, I thought that was silly. As far as the match goes, there was a house call that Swerve hit really early into the match that I thought was a really, really cool visual because Brody was running in. He hits him with it. Brody kind of fell face first. And just from the angle that it had, it really stuck in there, which I thought was a cool shot. And then mainly the rest of my talking points is just Swerve annihilating his back. I don't know if you noticed this, but like Brody slammed him onto the corner of the barricade. Then later on, he slammed him onto the corner of the stairs. And then probably the worst one, like those are bad. But Swerve had a spot where he basically deadlifted Brody up from the apron to hit him with a power bomb. And like I get it, but man, we got to be smarter, especially about your back. Like, you can't play about that stuff. And I just felt like those spots were kind of senseless. Like, yes, the spot where him picking him up was a feat of like strength, but I don't feel like it really did that much. And to just deadlift somebody over your head like that, I just I don't know, and it also cuts down on Brody's size when, like, that's one thing that he has. That's one thing that makes Brody interesting in AEW is he actually is a sizable guy because a lot of the promotion is undersized, and that's just another reason he's different and you should push him. But again, what do we know, right? And they were also out on the outside for like way too long, and then the commentators are having to make up for it by saying, "Oh well." They're really letting this one go. Like, come on, man. It's just making everybody look like a fool. I thought the match was fine, I guess. I don't think it was this classic, like some people said, it was. I think it could have gone 10 minutes and told the same story and been formatted a little differently. It was good. It just, I don't know. The finish was kind of dumb to me.
Yeah, I
And
don't know.
then,
Swerve's just kind of a step slower nowadays, so I don't really get into a lot of his matches. But
well, even if he wants to be a step slower, he's obviously adding muscle.
oh, are we sure?
Oh, well, he's adding weight.
Yeah,
So
he's gaining weight.
I'm fine with him doing the power moves. Like I said, like he did the power bomb in the apron, and I understand what they were going for and why they did that. But I just think there was maybe a safer or a smarter way to do it. I think he's doing less of the flips, so I'll give him that credit. But I don't know because when he gets in there with Kenny, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think he's trying to be more methodical, but I don't know. He's not a menacing guy to be working like the Undertaker.
Yeah. Well, again, who could work menacing? Brody. But
Oh, what?
oh.
What? No.
So after
He
that,
drone.
you pedophile.
What, you just want to pose and spam his entrance? Is that what you want?
You wanted to run back his music.
How dare you?
But after that, we got the Kenny Omega return. Ryan, did you have any thoughts about that at large, or you just thought that maybe the way they did it,
Omega return? No, I don't get excited about Kenny Omega. The biggest cornball in AEW. You know, he has his type of matches nowadays, and some fans like it. It's just not for me. And I think they missed the opportunity with making Brody King a bigger deal than what he is, and I think they won't get that opportunity again. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Kenny again. I am a little. I like
Really,
Kenny more than you. He's been more
really.
interesting to me lately.
Maybe they have like a Street Fighter tournament, and they do that. Can they just settle this in Street Fighter? That's where Kenny was when he was gone for all that time. He was doing a Street Fighter tournament. Do you know about that?
I thought he was doing like mocap for him.
Nah, he was doing it. Well, he's already done that, but he was going to a tournament in Japan. Bro, I wish my boss would give me time off to go play video games. You imagine that? You work once a week and your boss gives you 2 weeks off to go play the game.
I mean,
You imagine that?
I'm down. Where do I sign,
Yeah, I'll take
Mr.
it.
Khan?
I'll take it. Oh,
So
where did this
yeah.
you already got that contract. Don't
So
lie to the viewers, the
I
listeners
don't
here.
know. It was just interesting, I guess. It wasn't the way I would have done it between Swerve and Brody. But next up, your favorite. We got the AEW Women's World Championship on the line in
Oh,
a
man, we're
2
still
out of
going?
3 falls match. Oh, we're still going, pal. We got plenty to get through. Thekla versus Chris Statlander. 2 out of 3 falls match. This went 17 minutes and 30 seconds. Did
They
you have
worked
any
hard.
thoughts?
They worked hard.
Shout out them.
Yeah, they worked hard, and 3 bathroom breaks. All the women's matches for bathroom breaks. Yeah, Thekla won. Tekla won. I didn't realize how short she was. Why? She's the size of Alexa Bliss, and they're building her like she's Rhea Ripley out there.
Whoa, pal. Now you were just glazing Alexa when Ronda
Well, I
was
mean,
hating on her.
Oh, I'm just saying though, she's like 4'10", and then they treat her like she's Rhea Ripley out there, like she's a menacing threat. You remember when Julia Hart was the new it thing, and she had her own job girl to take the pin and take the beat downs for her, and Sky Blue. And now
Yeah.
we've come so far that Julia Hart is the one doing that for Tekla.
Yeah. I think they realized Julia probably wasn't ready for the moment. You know, God love her. She seems like a nice young lady.
Bro, they gave her the TBS title for months. What are you talking about? She wasn't ready for the moment.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
they put
saying
the title
after
on?
that.
Oh, they realized after the 7th month she had the TBS title. Huh?
I can't explain their rationale. I'm just saying I think maybe this is why they got to that
Yeah.
conclusion.
Well, what do we? I mean, who cares? Nobody's watching that. Nobody watched the TBS title reign she had, but yeah, Tekla and Statlander, poor Stat. I know she wanted a fair shot in the main event scene, but it was over before it even started.
Yeah, I feel like they have money with Statlander, but I'll say this. You are
I
really
mean,
critical on Thekla, and I
she
do
stinks.
I like her. I can't help it.
You like the promos?
I won't I can't speak for her
Yeah.
promos, but I think she
You just watch it. No, hold up now. You gotta watch the promos, man. That would change your perspective. You
she
just
is
watching the interview.
interesting. She is eye-catching.
And what, promos?
No, I'm talking about like when she cut like even again, my wife was watching the promo and she was like, "Oh, okay, she seems kind of cool. Like she seems interesting."
Oh, effortlessly cool, huh?
Yeah, she's got aura, bro. You just wouldn't understand. I don't know. I felt like the match was fine. I like that the first fall was not just like in the first 2 minutes with some stupid shenanigans. And then the final fall was quick, which to me makes sense because again, like that I have a gripe with 2 out of 3 falls matches, but I'll save that for another time. I thought they did it well. I enjoyed the match from a pure wrestling standpoint. I thought it was good and well done. There was nothing egregious. I like both ladies involved. Again, you're too harsh on her, man. I like her. I can't help it. I thought that the
I've seen
ref
her
bump
promo.
towards the end.
Seen her
Well,
promos. And that's all I
I,
need to see.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not gonna say they're good or bad.
if
I
you
can't really
think
say that I've seen a whole lot of them
Hangman Page's promos are too workshoppy and too,
or that.
theater kid, like, bro, just watch Tekla do her thing on Collision, and you'll see what I'm seeing.
I don't know. I really can't explain it. I just like her. She's somewhat interesting and eye catching to me. I think she's a good choice for the women's world champion right now.
Okay.
Uh I thought the ref bump was odd because she stole his belt, but it was kind of like, well, would he not see her steal the belt? But regardless, fine match, fine speech, pal. We'll move on. In a trios match for the AEW World Trios Championship, 17 minutes and 10 seconds,
Oh no,
Mystico and Jet Speed defeated the Don Callis family, Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis by pinfall.
bro, there's no reason this should have been on the main card.
No,
Like, why didn't this happen on Collision?
there's a lot that you can say that for, if we're being
And
completely honest.
they keep on trying to push this whole Sin Cara thing with his entrance. The fans sing along to it in Mexico. But when you come over to the States, nobody knows the lyrics to the song, and it's goofy.
Yeah, because the commentators often
Yeah,
lay
they lay
out
out,
for it.
and then nobody knows the lyrics.
Yeah, I get what they're going
Nobody watching
for.
on CMLL, man.
But exactly that right there. You have a hard time asking most wrestling fans in the States to even watch AEW. And even then, like we watch AEW, but like I'm not necessarily hating on anybody that does it. I'm just saying, like, as a grown man with a
Man,
full-time job and a wife and other hobbies than wrestling, I just don't have time to watch CMLL. I'm sorry. I don't know.
bro, and somehow that won promotion of the year too in the Observer. But that's another. We've talked about that ad nauseum. But I don't know. Do you have anything for the match, Micah? Because I wanted to ask you something about the aftermath.
Um, it it was here. I mean, I had a
It was
few
there,
like
yeah.
it just there was some decent spots, but I didn't think it was just like some crazy spectacle or anything. It was just a match that happened.
Yeah, I thought it was, they all matched with their mask. That was, I guess that was a nice touch. But the aftermath, Micah, the announcement that Mystico, former Sin Cara in the WWE, the bad Sin Cara, because Unico was the superior Sin Cara, but I digress. He is now signed with All Elite Wrestling. He's the newest game changer, Micah. Is that a good move, bad move, thumbs in the middle? What you got?
I think it is a good move because internationally, Mystico is obviously probably the biggest star in Mexico. So if it pulls more fans in that way, then that's a good thing. I think he's a good hand to have as well. Again, it's one of those
Is
things
he?
like it may not translate to the American audience completely, but it's not a bad signing.
I think what are we doing here though? Who are we? Why are we signing? They are signing everybody, Mike.
Well, I mean,
Where
yeah,
are they
they've
going to
always
put
done
all these
that.
guys? But where are they going to put all these guys?
Ring of Honor.
Is Ring of Honor that long of a show? I thought it
Oh,
was
I
just an
couldn't
hour.
tell you.
It's an hour?
I got no idea.
Okay. Well, regardless, welcome to AEW Mystico Sin Cara.
Yeah, I mean, I like Sin Cara. Daggum, you got me saying Sin Cara. I like Mystico. I'm not gonna say anything
You
negative
liked him
about
in
him.
the Scooby Doo WWE movie?
I don't even remember that.
You didn't watch that one?
I did not.
They had Sin Cara in it, John Cena. I think the Miz was in there. Yeah, they had a lot of guys in the Scooby Doo WWE adventure in like 2011.
I mean, they wanted more out of him, but
We all did.
as far as him
So,
and AEW as Mystico, again, like I think it's fine, but they don't necessarily need him. I think he's cool to do the pop-ins and do, like he's been doing, but uh, I don't think this is going to be a full-time deal. And even if it is, they talk about pushing old talent in WWE. Mystico's 43. He's not going to be AEW World Champion. So I don't know. Again, he's great in Mexico, probably like one of the greatest luchadors of all time. But in the States, I'll have to see what they do with him.
one of those dual contracts that they've been signing guys to.
But like, what does that mean? Is he just going to be on Dynamite more often?
Yeah, and he's gonna be working CMLL as well. Like they signed that girl, Persephone.
Oh
They signed her
yeah.
to one of those too, and another luchador they got, and their name escapes me at the moment. But yeah, they've been doing that a lot too recently. The dual contract thing. It's
So
gotta be a pain to cross over the border at this moment, bro. I'm be honest.
oh, I'm sure.
Like, would you want to be dual contracted?
Well, I guess it
Just keep
depends
me
on the
over one way.
pay.
Let me stay one way.
And I'm sure Tony's paying handsomely too.
Probably got the private jet out there to get Sin Cara.
Well, anyways, we move on. New trios champions. Congratulations, Mystico and Jess. Oh, I said there was only one title change. There was two. Sorry.
We don't
Uh
count.
a match that I was excited for. You're probably not going to agree with me on that. But next up, we've got in a regular old singles match, Andrade El Idolo defeated Bandito in 21 minutes. I think Andrade's been on a tear lately. He is one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW at the moment. I thought this match was probably the best in ring, no shenanigans, no nothing, one-on-one match. No, matter of fact, I'll just say this is the best match of the night to me. Like, no lie, I'd put it over the main event.
It had no nonsense in it. Andrade don't do that stupid kick out at one or
No.
waiting for a guy to set up something. He's with it. And
That's what I'm saying. I love Andrade because he just keeps it like it should be. Like, it's not more than it needs to be, and it's not less than it needs to be.
I like when he just dropped everything while Bandito was trying to take off his pants, and he wasn't just gonna sit there and wait on him to do it. So he just went over there and gave him an elbow, which I appreciate. That's what you would do in a real fight. If a guy was taking his time, taking off his shirt or something during a fight, you would go over there and get the advantage, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. That was also my first note. I loved that. Just quick thinking.
Bro, he's Mexican Rick Rude now too.
Yeah, basically. Just ripped to the gills. Yeah. As far as the match, there was a nasty German that they hit into the bottom rope that I thought that was a rough spot, but it looked great. Honestly, right now, front runner gimmick of the year, Andrade getting busy ringside. Right now, that's my winner. Does not matter what else you do. I think that one's pretty much got it locked up. I think that gimmick is hilarious. Ripping the pants off, going to take pictures with the ladies. And it's mid-match too. It's such a heel thing to do. Like, he could not, he could care less about his opponent.
You know what? Isn't Bandito the ROH World Champion?
I don't think he is anymore.
Are you sure? He came out there with the title, didn't he?
No, I think. Oh yeah, he is. Okay, yeah, that tells you how much I. What did Tama Tonga? Was it Tama?
I don't know about giving her. I don't know about giving her by ROH.
That's it. One of them said, I don't remember who it was.
That was Tama Tonga.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember which one it was. Nobody gave it about ROH.
Threw the title across the press conference table, but yeah, man, it was a non-title match. That was weird. Why not just put the title on the line? And it shows you how much they care about ROH. They just have the world champion get beat.
Oh yeah, and why would you not put the belt on Andrade? Like, in all honesty, you don't lose anything by that. Andrade is on a heater right now too.
You think El Idolo gonna work ROH, pal? No.
Yeah, good point. We don't do that nonsense. Andrade is such a legend. Like, in all honesty, he's one of my favorites because he goes from WWE to AEW. Like, he is the true pro wrestler right now.
You remember when he said that next time he sees Sammy Guevara that he's gonna punch him in the face? He tweeted that out and then proceeds to do it at the next show.
Just legend business.
Is that why Sammy's buried on ROH?
Yeah, that's why he can't be Ring of Honor World Champion. They can't be in a locker room together.
Okay, all right, got a point.
I want to say it was Bandito. I got to start writing down who hits these moves. I think Bandito hit like a moonsault crossbody slam. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it.
That's one of his signature moves.
Oh, okay. That's a really cool looking move. It's also devastating, and the strength that it takes to do that, I think, is really probably like you don't think about it, but that's
He's
crazy.
one of the strongest pound for pound guys they got, Bandito.
Yeah. Now, speaking of his strength, what is one complaint that I've had about Bandito, and you've had the same thing, which is that finish, that 21 plex is so stupid to set up.
Yeah. You got to present your backside for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And people want to say the 619 takes a while to set up too. But it's different when you just hanging out on the ropes and then you're face down up like that on the ropes. That's a little different.
Yeah, well, and not only that, like with the 619, in theory you're dazed, right? But like if you're standing up, why would you not move? Like, anyways, I'm not getting into the the nitty gritty here. But Bandito hit a 21 plex where Andrade was laying on the mat. That was one more impressive because he picked him up with a deadlift into it, basically. Number two, that's just how we should do it all the time because it's way more believable for you to do that to a guy who's just laying prone on the mat. And it looked more impressive. So I don't know. I just thought that was such a nice touch. And to me, this was the match of the night, bar none.
Yeah, I agree actually.
Andrade's such a legend.
I wish he had a better manager.
Yeah. Don Callis is like, I don't love him, but he's the best they have, sadly.
No, but he's just not a manager though. He doesn't get his guys over.
Yeah. He gets himself
he's too
over.
much with the ha-has. I don't like that.
Yeah. But I think Andrade, we talked about Mystico being or kind of having the barrier to get over because of the language. Andrade is somebody to me that he can do it without that. I think legitimately, I think Andrade can be over and not have to necessarily be a great promo, which again, AEW, please take the advice that we have been preaching. Give him vignettes with subtitles. It's not that hard, and it translates so much easier. They did it some with Bandito, but just like do it weekly with Andrade, and he could be a star. But
that don't work for me, pal. How about he say the B word constantly on TV? How about that? We can settle for that.
How could
You're a foreign star, that's what you have to settle for.
Well, you got me there, I guess. But anyways, we'll move on. We got two left to talk about. The next one we can just kind of skim through unless you really want to hit on it. A Tornado Trios match. Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong defeated the Dogs. David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Mr. Mew himself, Clark Connors. His jawline, you could cut diamonds with that thing. Clark Connors is like, I don't know, man. To me, out of the three of them, I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about the Dogs at all. But Clark Connors has a look.
Well, wait a minute. You know David Finlay. That's, Finlay's son.
I mean, yeah, I know of him.
Yeah.
I don't know, like people hyped up David Finlay because he signed to AEW, and I don't know anything. I'm just saying
his brother is in WWE at the moment, and he's getting managed by William Regal and Finlay, and they have a group going on. I don't know if you caught up on your NXT, Micah.
Birthright?
Yeah, I think that's what they're called. But it's very funny because the week after they debuted, Finlay debuted in AEW, David Finlay, and it just makes you wonder, like, wow, was he really about to sign with WWE? Was that his faction? And I guess AEW came in at the 12th hour.
Oh, I'm sure that was probably the plan.
But yeah, the Dogs.
The
Dogs. Clark Connors spear. What about that?
That was a really cool spot.
Yeah. That's all you can say though about this match.
Yeah. Other than that,
they missed a spot with the cameraman or the production crew. They didn't catch that Gabe Kidd got zip tied. It was very weird because the commentators try to make up for it. But yeah, that was towards the end of the match, and of course Gabe Kidd was losing his mind on the ramp, and yeah, the team of Darby, Roderick Strong, and what was that, Orange Cassidy was in there?
Yeah, your favorite.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, well, all those guys won, and yeah, the feud must go on with Darby and the Dogs
until morale improves.
We need a coffin match, Micah. Unsanctioned coffin match.
So I don't know. This was really my first introduction into the dogs.
The dogs.
The dogs. We gotta say it like that. That's trademark. Um, the dogs. David Finlay. Yeah, I wasn't really impressed with the three of them.
They,
Clark Connors just has a look to me. That's really it.
bro, they just seem like diet. Moxley gang, the Mudline. What were they called?
The
I forget, man.
Mudline, the Death Riders.
The
I
Death
forgot
Riders.
about the Mudline.
It just seemed like the diet Death Riders, bro. Are they not that to you?
No, I mean it makes sense.
That's what they seem like diet Death Riders. They just don't come out through the crowd. Come out on the stage.
And Gabe Kidd,
He stings.
Gabe
Bro,
Kidd.
he read up on him. He's got some weird allegations too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was one of the ones that well, I don't even want to get into it because that's we'll talk about that off air. But if you haven't, look up Gabe Kidd. Just look up his past controversy. It would be the first thing to pop up.
Interesting. Yeah, I had no idea. I don't know. Clark Connors to me seems like the most interesting out of the two. Gabe Kidd just feels like he tries too hard. I don't know how else to explain that, but yeah, I just don't really. I don't know about him. And then as far as David Finlay goes, I'll keep giving him a couple chances, but he just kind of feels nondescript to me. Like, I don't know. Some people try and tell you he was the best Bullet Club leader, but they said the same thing about Jay White, and well, you see what Tony's done with him. But we move on to a jam-packed main event. Last chance Texas death match for the AEW World Championship. If Adam Page lost, he will never be able to compete for the AEW World Championship again. This went 46 minutes and 20 seconds. MJF did defeat Hangman Adam Page.
Bro, I think the only thing, if this match would have went on 5 minutes longer, they would have had to bring out a gun or like a guillotine. Or
for me or for them? Because I was contemplating. I mean, dude, it was already going on 11 o'clock here. And then this thing kept going. And I just could not believe my eyes.
They used syringes. They used explosives. They used glass. Skewers. Barbed wire. Are we missing anything?
I think that was it.
Oh, it turned into a impromptu chain match or dog collar match.
Yeah.
There was a noose. Wait, no, that wasn't a noose. He just hung her with the chain.
Yeah.
But yeah, hanging, that happened. Yeah, it was very. If you like that type of stuff, then you would have liked this match. I don't particularly like the self-indulgent, look at us, we can kick out of everything stuff that goes on forever. I think if you were to do hardcore stuff, leave the skewers on the indies, leave the syringes for, I don't know, the dentist office, and bump this down to about 10 minutes. Under 10 minutes, you would have had something good here. But yeah, 45 minutes, nothing had any effect on the other guy. They kept on getting up and they bled buckets. And yeah, man, just it was what it was. We talk about the death match every time they have it. It just seems like they repeated a lot of stuff in this match. You didn't see anything you hadn't seen before. You've seen skewers before in this company. You've seen syringes in Hangman Page's matches. So it just wasn't nothing that we haven't seen. And I didn't like it the first time they did it, and I didn't like it here. So. And welcome to the mid card, friend. Hangman Page, take a seat.
He'll be here a while.
Yeah. He's gonna go on his Cody path right now. I'll be worried. If I'm a big AEW fan, I would be worried about this.
Well, I got a couple
We'll
things.
see you at Mania.
Oh man, I got a couple things that I would like to talk
Yeah,
about with the
roll it out.
ending.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, unpack it. We'll talk about it.
But as far as the match goes, I'm sorry. Listen, and I guess we can kind of wrap this whole thing in towards the end as well. I don't need a match to go 46 minutes. I don't care if it's the main event of WrestleMania. I don't care if it is the local show down at the Civic Center. I don't I'm not built for that, man. Like if that's your kind of thing, then sure. The only way I can sit through a 2 hour, 2.5 hour movie is if I'm in the theater. I don't even like watching movies at home. So to sit and watch a show for 4.5 hours, like people dog WWE for the 5 match pay-per-views and it takes 3 hours. Yes, I agree with you. They should have about 7 matches. I think that's the sweet spot, 6 to 7, no pun intended.
Oh,
Uh, but at least they're done in 2 to 3 hours. That is palatable for a grown man to be able to sit down and watch as like this is a hobby. I don't do anything for 4.5 hours except sleep and maybe play video games. And even then, I take breaks. And even then, it may not be 4.5 hours on one game. So yeah, to just ask this of people, especially on a night before most people have to go to work, I think that's ridiculous. And if you ever say anything sideways about that, people just act like you're not a real wrestling fan. And, they try and embarrass you about being like a responsible adult and maybe not wanting to like set aside your entire night for this. But regardless of that, we'll talk about the match. And then I would like to talk about the pay-per-view at large. I thought the intro clip for MJF was really funny. It did pop me. Him pissing on the grave of Hangman Adam Page did make me laugh. That's ended up what he did here as well with the match. Plus, he had the Funk tribute gear, which obviously really cool. I know what he was going for.
it made him look smaller. I don't like that. Made him look really small.
Really?
Yeah, it made him look small. Yeah, I mean he is a tiny guy, but I don't know the tights. It just didn't do him any favors.
Well, it is weird to see it. It's like when Punk wore tights. It's just a little cursed. Like when Triple H has no knee pads.
Uh,
I thought MJF sweeping the ring with the glass was a nice touch. I've never seen that, but it's great heel work. I also thought it was funny when he said, "I'm not doing that NDBS," and he cracked the window, which why would you not do that on the outside instead of in the middle of the ring? But neither here nor there. But
and
like
he
you
did
said,
NDBS.
yeah, like you said, when we get to the syringe and the skewers, you lose me. Like I'm all for hardcore wrestling. I'll even give you the light tube. I can buy that one. But the skewers and definitely the syringe, man. I'm just one of those people. I'm sure there's a term for it. I don't like needles. I had been kind of dealing with some stuff, not me personally, but I've been in the hospital the past couple days. I looked at 0 needles, and trust me, there was a good bit of them. I don't watch them take blood from me. I don't watch them take blood from anybody else, put an IV in. No, I'm not watching that. And this right here is the same way. And it doesn't, in terms of harming the opponent, it doesn't really do anything. There's no purpose other than shock value. And when you're just doing things for shock value, I feel like that is stupid. It's a
Yeah,
fight.
who's that? Who's that for though? Who wants to see that?
It's the GCW fans because they're the ones that chanted GCW. Either they were chanting GCW or ECW when it happened. It sounded a little bit more like G to me.
I man, it should call me old school. I don't want to see the needles, but even if we did have a needle, Let's make that the finish, okay? Let's let that be the end. Let's not go another 25 minutes after
Yeah. As far as the skewers go, I didn't like that either. I thought the visual, however,
that.
was
He
kind of
got some more
cool.
hair plugs. He got some more hair plugs, huh?
No, I wasn't even talking about that. When Hangman did the buckshot and all the skewers shot out of MJF's head, I thought that was a cool visual, but I just did not care for seeing that. It bothers me. I don't, again, like call me old school. I don't know. It's just not for me. The dog collar was a cool callback. That to me was when the match like picked up and became good. I enjoyed that part of it when the dog collar came in because I felt like they were telling more of a story. Obviously, with MJF's past, then he ended up hanging Hangman like Hangman did to Moxley. The spot where he got the blood on the camera was cool as well because it's not something you really see a whole lot. But the match was long, man. I didn't need this. I didn't need this to be 46 minutes, 45, whatever it was. If you are selling to me that this is a death match, it should be 20, anywhere between 15 and 25, I'm good with. But even the one at All In last year was 35 minutes. And I felt like that went a little long, but I can give you a little bit more because it was All In. It's their big show of the year, whatever. 46 minutes for not even your biggest pay-per-view of the year is just absurd. I'm sorry. I don't care what type of match it was unless it's an Iron Man match. The show was really long at this point, and the crowd was feeling it for most of the show. Like, that's what happens every time. These AEW pay-per-views, they get so quiet towards the back half because there's so much wrestling that has went on. But largely, what do you even do with Hangman Adam Page now?
Well, uh, hold up now, Micah. He said he can't challenge for the world championship again, right?
Yeah.
Well, hold up now. He calls it the men's world championship. So therefore, he still can challenge for the world championship. That's
Just
long-term storytelling, pal.
okay. We're
Yeah,
building up both divisions here.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I hate that stipulation. I think it's really I'm fine with the like you can't challenge until I lose the belt, but a blanket like he can never challenge. And here's the thing, I don't know if you saw this, Ryan, but at the press conference, Tony had some kind of comment about how it was a handshake deal and it was Hangman's word that he would never challenge again. So the story they're gonna go with is Hangman's gonna go heel and he's gonna go back on his word and challenge for it. But man, we got the heel Hangman run, and yeah, I
Stop.
thought it was cool, but it wasn't really like he was never as over as a heel as he was as this baby face. So when you nuke your main character by saying that he can never be world champion, when you nuke your main character by telling Naruto that he can never be Hokage, when you nuke Sting in WCW because he can never be world heavyweight champion, what are we doing? I mean, take Geralt, for instance. I know you're a big Witcher fan. All right, Geralt can't be a Witcher anymore. That's the whole that's the whole crux of the game. Like that's the whole this main character Hangman Adam Push thing. Hangman Adam Push. Well, he ain't getting that anymore. Hangman Adam Page is that he would get the push to be AEW World Champion. He's the main character. They've said that for years. And now, what do you do with your main character?
Main character didn't draw no money, pal. Main character almost killed the business. Main character got him down to 300,000 people weekly, Micah. So maybe the main character deserves to be in the TNT mid card for a couple years. Maybe the main character can go work Collision for maybe a few months. Maybe the main character can take some time off now. I don't think it's that much of a devastating loss to the main event scene now that Hangman Adam Page is out of there. I would be fine with a guy like Andrade taking his place. I would be glad with a guy like Brody King taking his place. Anybody. Popcorn vendor. Can the popcorn vendor take his place? Bro, I don't think it's that big of a loss to the overall scheme of things. Yeah, I know that fan base is probably gonna miss him, but really, Micah, are you gonna miss the screaming promos? Are you gonna miss the performative cowboy rehearsing or reciting lines that he workshopped? Are we gonna miss that, Micah? Are we gonna miss those long, self-indulgent death matches that he loves to do? Are we gonna miss that? I'm not. I couldn't care less. Shuffle him down to the basement. I'm fine. Get him up out of here. Get him out the paint.
Him and Scorpio Sky can be on the same bunk in purgatory.
Hold up now. He was actually on that pay-per-view. I don't know if you caught him.
Really?
He was. It was in the Battle Royal.
Wow.
Of course.
Okay. I should have pulled up more. I think here.
You should put a
Sammy Guevara?
Yeah, Guevara.
Wardlow. Well, Wardlow buried below the basement. Oh my God.
He's gonna be in the new Gladiator show on Prime. Check it out. Camille's gonna be in it too. Bunch of wrestlers actually.
Oh wow. Yeah. Another one. Her and Wardlow. Cool, buddy. Subterranean. Yeah, I don't know. It's
You're growing soft on me. You're becoming a Hangman apologist.
No,
I remember sitting here where you would beat your hand on that desk saying that you don't want to see Hangman Adam Page in the main event scene ever again, Micah. And now we're getting our wish, and now you're going soft. Now all of a sudden you want to see him back. Now all of a sudden you want him to go back on his word. You want him to go back to the main event scene. Now all of a sudden you call him the main character. Is that what I'm hearing here?
I'm not calling him the main character.
No, you just called him that. You called him that. You're devastated by this.
No, that was objectively speaking. I think
first you glazed the Young Bucks at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
Now and then then you got your Tekla jersey on, your Tekla merch, and now you over here saying Hangman Adam Page was robbed and that he should be the world champion again. What's going on with you, Micah?
You're not invited to my toxic super kick party, pal. You just lost your invite. I think
in that chat room with Ibu, is that what's going on?
Oh Lord, we're not. We I like Ibu. We're not going to do that here.
Yeah, shout out him.
It's not a good look for him, though. The Brock Lesnar stuff is not a good look for him. I'll say this, right? So, yes, I'm not the biggest Hangman fan. I was more speaking objectively about the what do we call it? The fan base at large.
Okay.
Because I haven't really seen a whole lot of like issue with it. And I think you book yourself into a corner because I think Paige, this is going to piss a lot of people off when I say this. I think Paige is a poor man's Cody. Because Cody has the ability to turn heel. Now he won't turn heel for some reason, but Cody can do it. But in the same vein, Cody got this belt, right? And it's his all-time moment at WrestleMania 40, and then what? He held it for a year. It was fine.
Hold up now. Back it up. I thought you were going to go with the AEW version of Cody. The one that got cheered, and then the one that said that if they lose this world title match, they would never challenge again. And then they proceeded to get booed out the building, and then eventually makes the jump to WWE. I thought you were going down that avenue, which that's actually a better comparison in my opinion.
Well, I'm not saying that that's out of the realm of possibility. I'm just saying I think Hangman is one of those people that's better chasing than he is as champion, and it shows because every time he's
Choke
champion, it kind of nullifies AEW for a while. Nobody cares about the main event scene. They got to get it off of them. And then as soon as they do, bing, everything goes
Right.
up.
Yeah, ratings go up. It's amazing how that happens, huh? Ratings don't
So,
matter unless Hangman Adam Page is champ.
yeah. Well, I can't even get into this. We've been going long. I hate people that say that, oh, well, why do you care? It doesn't matter if I care. It is a fact. But regardless, I just think that you handicap yourself storyline wise with this. However, I know what they're doing, and I just think it's stupid. I think it's lazy. They're building back on the whole thing, the same thing that they do with Hangman every time. He has something that he gets depressed, and people can relate to him because he's this depressed millennial cowboy, and now I can't get back to my world title. And then he's going to go around the world to eventually find his way back to it, which, it is what it is. I'm just saying, I think it's stupid to handicap anybody. I don't care if it's Sammy Guevara and you say, okay, Sammy, if you lose this match, you can never challenge for the AEW World Championship again. You're just putting them a peg below literally anyone else. Like freaking Tommaso Ciampa could come in and be what he could come in and get a push and go to the world title. Like there's always the possibility of that, but now with Paige it's like, okay, buddy, I hope you like the TNT championship. I just think it's stupid. But yeah, we'll see what they do. I would like to mention this again. The show was 4.5 hours long. We did not need Tony Storm and Marina Shafir on this show. I get the Ronda inclusion, but that was 10 minutes that we did not need. The Divine Dominion versus Babes of Wrath could have been on the pre-show. I know I'm picking on two ladies matches. I'm just saying it really didn't have to be here. Let's be honest with ourselves. If you're going to have Brody King lose, Brody versus Swerve could have been on Dynamite. If you want to include it, fine. It's not the most egregious because it was 14 minutes or 15 really, but it didn't have to be here. Mystico versus Mystico and Jet Speed versus the Don Callis family did not need to be here. Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong versus the Dogs did not have to be here. So right there, you've cut out almost an hour, including entrances, match time, aftermath, all that did not need to be here on the show. So now you spin it, you give me a 3.5 hour pay-per-view. The card looks like FTR Bucks, Moxley Takeshita. We'll keep Swerve and Brody in just for the sake of it. So Swerve Brody, Decla Chris Statlander, Andrade Bandito, and MJF Hangman. 6-match card, perfect. 3.5 hours. That is a much more palatable pay-per-view. And if you disagree, I don't understand how. You can't tell me you watch this pay-per-view for any of the matches that I cut. You can't tell me that. And the people cope with it by saying, oh, well, I paid $50 for it, so why do I not want more wrestling? Again, I'm sorry. I'm a grown man with a job that I have to go to on a Monday. But literally the only reason I was able to watch this live without feeling like I was missing something is because my wife is essentially bedridden right now with some medical conditions going on. So I had 4.5 hours to kill because I had nothing else to do. But any other time, it's ridiculous to ask somebody to sit in front of a TV for 4.5 hours to watch a pay-per-view. That's not WrestleMania, All In, or even Double or Nothing, I'll give you.
Yeah, I agree. It's like that with all these pay-per-views, man. You can cut the fat from almost any name a pay-per-view, and I can tell you 4 matches that didn't need to be on that card. But that's the way they want to do it. That's the way they're going to continue to do it. And Tony Khan continues to make empty promises when he says that he's going to look at the pay-per-view length and he's going to take into account that people have jobs and they can't be staying out till 12:30 to watch these shows. He said all that before, but it basically just performative because he's gonna do what he wants to do, and you're gonna like the 5-hour graps there, pal, or maybe you're just not a sicko. If you're not a
Yeah.
sicko, you can go to the Fed. You can go watch the Fed if you want. You can go watch those 3-hour entrances. Go
You
watch
just don't
that.
like
Go watch the
wrestling.
hype moments. Yeah, you don't like wrestling, pal. You just want to watch hype moments and aura. It's not what we do over here. It's not what we do over here.
It's what we do. So yeah, I don't know, man. There's nothing that people can say to make me feel better about that 4.5 hours because it dulls my interest by the end of it. I might have liked Hangman and MJF a little more if I hadn't sat and watched 4 hours of wrestling before it. It's just, I'm sorry. Like, if you think that makes me a fake fan, whatever. I don't care. It's just my truth. Like, I don't feel like watching wrestling that long ever. Or anything that long. But regardless, Ryan, what would your match of the night be from AEW Revolution?
I'd probably go to Andrade match with Bandito or maybe Big Boom
Oh, Lords.
AJ and QT Marshall the pre-show. I go with that. What was the second match? Maybe the second match was good. What was that again?
That was
You
Tony
got your
Storm versus
notes?
Marina.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Doom and Boom as a second, and Bandito and Andrade as number one.
That Andrade match, I really liked it. So that's
Yeah,
also going to be my match of the
I thought it
night.
was good.
And out of 10, Ryan, what would you give Revolution? Just to keep the fans updated, if you did our Elimination Chamber review and Royal Rumble. Ryan, you currently have Elimination Chamber at a 4 and Royal Rumble at a 6.3.
I go 3.6 on this. I thought it was a pretty. I mean, there was a lot of surprises as far as surprise returns goes. But we just fall into the same problem that we have with most AEW pay-per-views, that the major fluff. And I think that's a fair rating for this show, Micah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really trying to make this make sense because this is going to make a lot of people mad, right? But I gave currently my ratings are I gave the Royal Rumble a 7. I gave Elimination Chamber a 4 as well. I got to put this somewhere around the realm of Royal Rumble. And a lot of people hated Royal Rumble, but I just didn't feel the same way.
Wow. Okay.
I felt like Liv winning was obvious. The Women's Rumble was a little clunky, per se. It typically is. Gunther versus AJ, I thought was a really good match. Drew Sammy was there, and Roman winning did not offend me because I expected it, and I enjoyed the Men's Rumble for what it was. However, I do think I remember the Women's Rumble being better. It's kind of the same here. Like, you got a lot of fluff. I like the FTR Bucks match. I liked the Andrade match. The Swerve match was fine. I enjoyed the Thekla match. The MJF match was a spectacle, but I don't really know that I enjoyed it. I guess I'll go a 7. Like, I'll give it the same.
Wow.
I can't necessarily say that it was better, but I can't necessarily say that it was worse. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to drop both of them to a 6. Am I able to retcon that?
Are we able to do that? I don't see why not. It's pro wrestling, pal. Make our own rules.
I'm going to drop both of them to a 6. And that's, again, like, I know that's going to make a lot of people mad. It is what it is. But it just,
See,
well, you know what? I'll keep it at a 7.
Yeah, you kind of inflate the ratings here for your
come
shows.
on. I gave you a 4.
You're kind of like Ronnie 2K here, because you just keep on inflating the ratings each show. I'm more I'm more, I like to keep my cards close to my vest, and I don't like to just give out, tens and nines to everybody. I like to, you got to earn those 9 stars, pal. Wasn't even in the Tokyo Dome, so of course you're not gonna get a high rating from me. But you, on the other hand, you just give them out like candy, Micah. You're like Meltzer now,
Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
giving everything a high rate.
They had 10 matches on the card. I give it one point for FTR versus the Bucks, which I enjoyed.
Oh, is
I'll
that
give
how
it,
we're rating these?
I'm just saying, hey, we could go like this. Andrade and Bandito, I'll give 2 points as match of the night. I really enjoyed it. I will give the Swerve Brody King match 1 point. I will give the Thekla Chris Statlander match 1 point, and the MJF Hangman match I will give half a point.
Come on, give that 1 point.
So, I mean, again, we're floating around a 6 here. Matter of fact, I'll split the difference. I'll go 6.5, and I'll say that Royal Rumble is more
on
enjoyable.
your AEW redemption arc. You are just taking these checks from TK, huh? It's got to be.
Well, now you just reminded me that it's a 7. I'm leaving it at a 7.
Wow.
I think there are good things baked
zip
within.
up TK when you're done. How about that? Just zip them up.
Well, regardless, we'll come back to that. A lot of people felt like it was pay-per-view of the year. I don't think it's like just head and shoulders above everything else.
Every pay-per-view show of the year. What are you talking about?
We got a couple WWE quick hitters to talk about. Going back to Friday Night SmackDown, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton had a contract signing in which Randy turned heel. Was not expecting that. I felt like they were going to go both into this as baby faces, and maybe we get a turn at WrestleMania. However, Ryan, you kind of predicted this last week because you said we got 2 babyface versus babyface main events going into Mania. That's not going to last. And little did you know it was going to happen Friday. So what did you think overall, and are you happy about how they went about this?
I would just like to point out this is the 3rd year in a row Cody got juice on the way to WrestleMania. He bled buckets for The Rock leading up to WrestleMania 40. He bled on the John Cena heel turn, and he bled right here when Randy turned heel on Cody. So I don't know. It's got me wondering who's next year. Is CM Punk gonna leave him in a bloody pile next year?
I mean,
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. But yeah, I thought it's been a while since we've seen on WWE television like a long, uncomfortable beatdown like that. So I welcomed it. And it's one of the very few matches or build-ups that WWE, easy for me to say, has been doing that actually feels like a WrestleMania type attraction or WrestleMania type build-up, because this has teeth to it. This has 20 years worth of storyline, and they followed it up on Monday, Micah, with a very strange interview segment with Randy, and Randy said that we'll find out more soon, and we'll find out that wrestling does have more than one royal family. So teasing something there. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, I thought the execution on Friday was great, and the fan reactions to it was great. Some people cheered. A lot of the kids in the audience were crying. So mission accomplished with getting, the first big move on the road to WrestleMania for the Cody and Randy storyline. Nobody wanted to see, hey, I love you, bro, and this is means a lot to me, bro, and them, standing in a circle jerk the whole time going into WrestleMania. We wanted to see
I want you at your best.
I want you at your best. We wanted bald Psycho Randy, and we're getting Psycho Randy. I don't know if he's gonna go completely bald for this, but yeah, man, let me see the segment where Cody breaks in Randy's tour bus, or Cody goes to Randy's house and does a 2009 Triple H, and gets the sledgehammer and throws him out the window. Let me see that. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see where they're going. And as far as segments go, that was the segment of the week for me. And I thought they did a better job of getting me hyped up about their match than Roman and Punk did on Monday, which I didn't think that was bad. We'll talk about that later, but they did a great job here.
Yeah, they kind of blew that one out of the water, if you ask me. I liked it as well. It's always nice to see some color in WWE because it is very rare for somebody to pull the Crimson Mask out, and they typically wait for the big moments like WrestleMania. So I enjoyed it. It's like you said, it's got teeth to it. I think that I await a Cody heel turn. I don't know if he wants to do that or not. We'll see. So if Randy was more willing, Randy obviously can pull it off. Heel Randy is the best, or is the best version of Randy. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, like I'm interested on who Randy was on the phone with. I don't know if they take collect calls in whatever jail cell Ted DiBiase Jr.'s in.
Oh, come on now. What?
But regardless, Randy was calling somebody, so I got to know who he was calling.
Oh, man. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Fresh out of jail, got the jumpsuit on.
Oh,
it's a new day.
Are they just going to go with the safe option and have Cowboy Bob Orton out there?
Oh, Lord, can he make it? I don't know how old he is.
He's fine. Oh, he's fine. He's all right.
Okay. I wasn't even being funny. I really don't know.
I think he's in okay shape. But you can have him cutting a promo on Cody Rhodes, can't you? He can talk about his pops.
If he's still got the gift of gab.
Maybe Cody grabs him by the lapels, and then Randy pops up out of nowhere, mask. Gotta have a hoodie. And maybe bloodies up Cody again. We can have that.
I could see it. I mean, yeah, apparently he wrestled in 2023. That was his last match. So,
Cowboy Bob?
Yeah.
Wow.
Him and Tony Atlas.
Oh, man.
Oh, he's not even officially retired. So, yeah, he can still go. But
he's in good shape.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I think if Cowboy came out, said,
Tony Atlas with him.
Oh, okay. I almost veered very far into left field with that. But I'm not going to bring up Tony Atlas's.
Cody, take your shoes off. What size shoes you wear, Cody? Shout out Tony Atlas, man. He seemed like a nice guy, man.
Tony's gonna pull what Brock told Oba on Monday. Put your foot on my chest.
Oh no. It's getting late, man.
Oh man. Can you take your socks off? Anyways, anyways, if Cowboy Bob Orton comes out there and kind of does the, Dusty would be proud of you, and then swerves him, leading to an attack, I could see that. But it's interesting because I don't know where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, good segment leading into Mania, especially for the main event, supposedly. But segment of the week, Ryan, that's ridiculous when we got this right here from Monday Night Raw, the opening segment. Get this bum out of here. We ain't even got to talk about Seth and the Masked Men. Paul Heyman said F.A. F5, and Brock Lesnar came out, mutilated 15 or 20 security men. But that's not the highlight, ladies and gentlemen. The highlight is the ruler of WWE, not NXT anymore, of WWE, made really his first big move. He accepted, or I guess informally accepted, the open challenge Brock Lesnar laid out, kind of in a swerve angle, because it kind of seemed like it was going to be Seth, but Oba kind of interrupted that. Had a moment where he picked up Brock, deadlifted him kind of onto his shoulders for a last ride right there in the middle of the ring, puts his foot on him, points at the sign. You know what that means. Oba to the moon. This was my segment of the week. I think I have watched this segment like 50 times because Oba is like my number 2 right now favorite wrestler across any industry, or not industry, company. And I'm very, very excited to see this match.
Man, Brock takes a lot of heat with the IWC, but Brock made this segment what it was because even going back, since Brock has come back to WWE back in 2012, Brock doesn't put over a lot of guys. Brock doesn't sell fear in almost anybody he's in the ring with. He hardly ever sells fear. He looked afraid of Oba. He even, looked around in the crowd, and you could tell that he felt that this was a big moment. And Brock went up like a feather for that pop-up power bomb, and he even told Oba to, stick the foot on me, point the sign. When Brock wants to do business, when Brock wants to put over a guy, when Brock wants to make a guy look like $1,000,000, he does that. He goes all out. And Micah, let me just ask you something, because I was thinking, is Brock Lesnar the most important guy from that OVW class, that OG OVW class? You think Brock Lesnar is the most important guy?
Even though I don't like him, and I think I discredit him more than most people, I think Cena has to be the most important.
Even with Brock building up UFC to what it was, and him building back up WWE, I should say, because Cena did a lot of damage to WWE when Brock left. You still wouldn't say that arguably Brock is a more important figure to WWE?
I think that
Bro,
to the
okay,
same discredit,
let me set the table. Brock Lesnar was the first really big draw for the UFC, right or wrong?
I don't know
He
enough about
sold.
the UFC to say
Okay,
yes.
well, let me tell you something. He sold the most. He had the record for the most pay-per-view buys. At least initially, I don't know if it still stands, but he did over 1 million buy rates for multiple pay-per-views, and he set the table. If there was no Brock in the UFC, Micah, there's no Ronda Rousey, there's no Conor McGregor. Brock was the first really big draw for the UFC and put them in mainstream eyes for what he was. And then he went back to WWE, and whatever Brock is doing, it's the main event on the show. It's the most important thing on the show. And he continues to do that at 47 years old. And even going back to his first run with WWE, Micah, he beat Hulk Hogan, he beat The Rock, he beat Ric Flair, he beat every legend in the business at 25 years old. I mean, he's done everything. I think there's no more important figure, and that's why I still claim to this day Brock Lesnar is a Mount Rushmore performer and a Mount Rushmore wrestler for WWE, and I would put him there before I put Cena there. And he continues to be the most important thing on the show when he's there.
Yeah, I mean, it's evident, like you said, the eyeballs are always on him. I mean, this moment got like 60 million views, I think, across all platforms, WWE said, on like 24 hours, which is absurd. I think, and I've seen a bunch of comments say this, Brock is a very underrated seller when he wants to. However, like, to discredit Brock, there is a section of the audience, myself included, just like with Cena, that stopped watching because of Brock Lesnar. Because he was he just held those world titles hostage, and I hated that part of it. So part of me can never forget that. I also hated that he beat the streak. However, when that music hits, I mean, you pay attention. You know something crazy
Yeah,
is about to happen.
at least he wasn't out there doing the cartoony promos for 15 years like Cena was doing. That chased more fans away than Brock Lesnar showing up, 3 times every 2 months.
Well, let me ask you something then. You're talking up Lesnar. Obviously, we know the night 2 main event is Punk and Roman. It's been built up. I think those are the 2 biggest stars in WWE that are, I guess, active. They've kind of been building the feud. I don't even know that you can call Roman active. But is there a world, Ryan, where you have Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar main event night 1?
I guess it would depend on how the match is built. If it's just a squash match, I don't think it needs to be the main event. But if it's like a back and forth 10-minute like brawl, then yeah, I can see that. But if it's just gonna be a squash with Oba, giving Brock the power bomb and that's it, then no, I don't think it should be the main event.
I honestly, I've seen a lot of people say that they kind of want it to be a squash. While I think that would be a cool moment, and I'm not necessarily against that because that would be one of those things that you would, oh my God, nobody does that to Brock Lesnar. I think that a 10-minute sprint, even an 8-minute sprint, I
Yeah,
think that could be a lot of fun.
they can do that too. Brock had one of the best like sub 10-minute match at WrestleMania against out of all people Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. So I mean, he still has it. He's still an athletic freak. He being Brock. And Oba, I haven't seen many of his like I haven't seen many of his main event like longer formed matches. So I don't know how you would do with like a 9-minute sprint, but that's what I would personally book. I wouldn't want to see a squash match. I think there's more to be. These guys can do it. So give the crowd what they want to see, and that give us the entrance, give us the stare down, and give us power moves back and forth, but don't overstay as well.
Yeah. Do you think, one last question about this and then we can move on. Do you think Brock should win in any world?
I think you can have Brock win only if there's a rematch here. I don't think Brock beating Oba and then that's it. Never get a rematch again. If the plan is to build up a rematch at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, and maybe have Brock do the honors there, that's something that I wouldn't mind seeing. But if Oba beats Brock, man, I don't know how does it get any bigger for Oba.
You gotta
Like
you
you
gotta
kind
put
of
the
have,
world title on
yeah,
him.
you have to. There's no delay in that. There's no, there's no building that up in for the IC title or have him be the U.S. champion. No, he has to be in the main event scene right after that. He has to
And
be on his 2002 Brock Lesnar type run if he beats Brock Lesnar, ironically.
I'm good with it. Send him to the moon. Let him have the Goldberg undefeated streak. Like, I'm good with it.
Yeah, you got to go all the way. You can't have this.
Yeah.
You can't have him beat Brock and then go feud with Kit Wilson for the next couple weeks. You got to have him. You got to have him with main guys on the main show, Raw. He needs to be on Raw too.
Yeah. And even if it comes at the cost of my guy Punk, it's time for that new era. I could see a world where Oba wins here, and then at SummerSlam, you maybe run Gunther versus Lesnar. Lesnar's last
Oof.
match, maybe. I personally, I do not want to see Lesnar beat Oba because it'll just give me flashbacks of just Lesnar always beating everybody. And so for that, I'm not really down. But if we do things right and we're going to build Oba up, let him get this win. It means more now. There's a lot of eyes on him, and especially at Mania.
There's a running joke online, Mike, about Brock Lesnar always beating black talent. It's like they forget about Bobby Lashley beat Brock 2 times, but
But who's
yeah,
counting?
yeah, who's counting that? But yeah, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Oprah Femi.
And that leads us to the final segment on Raw. I know we're running long, guys, but blame the 4.5 hour pay-per-view, not us. For the final segment on Raw, we had CM Punk and Roman Reigns in another face-off. And honestly, I don't know exactly how to break this one down. Uh, it was not what I expected because this was the follow-up. It honestly felt like a pseudo bloodline episode because we had the backstage segments with the Usos and Roman again. Things
Yeah, I guess so.
honestly kind of felt fun. Uh
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, I mean it started with them kind of, well, I won't say started, but they had the arrival, then the backstage, then the main event promo segment, and we get here and it didn't do it for me. I just felt like Roman's comeback was either him gloating or he called Punk old. And like respectfully, if somebody made fun of my dead parent, I'm not going to call
Well,
them old.
let me push back a little bit. That's the story they're trying to tell, though. That the only thing that can get under Punk's skin, because they brought up his wife, they brought up his UFC endeavors, they brought up his backstage drama in AEW. They brought all that up. The only thing that could get under Punk's skin is his insecurities about him getting older and him not being able to hang anymore. And that was proof when he went off the deep end the last face to face Roman and him had. CM Punk got angry when Roman said that he was going to retire CM Punk. And that's when CM Punk brought up Roman Reigns' dead father. And then when Roman called CM Punk old in this one, that sent CM Punk over the deep end again, Micah, and he attacked Roman. So I think the people that wanted them to go after the low hanging fruit probably wasn't really paying attention to the nuances in this story. I'm sure we'll get the low hanging fruit later on, but it's just the story they're trying to tell here is that CM Punk is insecure about him getting older and him not being able to do what he loves to do, and that's to wrestle. He wasted 10 years by sitting at home, iced out, when those could have been prime years for CM Punk. And now he's back trying to right the wrongs. But there's one thing that you can't outrun, Micah, and that's Father Time. And Father Time comes for everybody. And CM Punk
Except for
sees it,
LeBron.
except for LeBron. Yeah, you dang right. But yeah, CM Punk sees it in the rearview mirror. You can't outrun it. And you can't outrun Roman Reigns because he is inevitable.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think the story they were trying to tell was it's pretty good. Wasn't the promo battle they had 2 weeks ago, but it's telling a coherent story.
Yeah, I think I mean I'll keep giving it chances, obviously. I'm interested. It
Like I
just
broke that down. Yeah,
it makes sense.
yeah. There you go.
I just still I don't know that it was what I was expecting. I think I expected a little more heat
You wanted to
behind
bring
it.
out no, you wanted to bring out Larry's ashes. Be honest. You wanted
Okay.
them to. You wanted him to. You wanted Roman to make Larry into maybe a. You want to sprinkle it on CM Punk's dinner and then Roman Reigns feed Larry to CM Punk. You wanted a big boss man, Al Snow type segment here, Micah. Is that what you wanted?
Maybe not that the script, but I don't know, I need a little more spice behind my material.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
co-sign to the thought that a lot of people have that I think Punk did win this promo segment. I think he had the better material. I think Punk has, I won't say he's been carving up Roman, but like Punk is probably the greatest promo of all time. If not the, he's one of. And so I don't expect Roman to be at that level. However, I think Punk has kind of been showcasing why he is who he is in these promo segments. I think Roman's a good promo. I just don't think he's been getting one over on Punk.
Well, no, but we still got a long ways to go to WrestleMania. So Roman's gonna be on every single Raw show leading up to WrestleMania. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They have a lot of time, Mike. A lot of time. So if you wanted to see the Larry mentions, I'm sure you'll get it on the lead up. But just know you better not call CM Punk old, or you might
Might get
you
Jack
might get
Perry.
yeah, you might get Jack Perry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know we went a while, but we appreciate all you guys. Make sure you check out the socials. We'll be back next week with a regular time, regular show, and hopefully not going on 3 a.m. when we're recording this. But take care of yourselves over the weekend. Enjoy some wrestling. Don't sit in front of your TV for 4.5 hours watching wrestling, but enjoy some wrestling. Come back to us next week.
Yeah.
And
Fill out your brackets, everybody. Fill out your brackets too.
there
Nice
you
little
go.
March Madness.
And go back and listen to our Mania Madness from last year. Appreciate you all coming and hanging out. Take care of yourselves and have a good one.